That's nice coffee. Oh, how you doing? Who let the rats out? Hey, what's up, DeSquinty? What's up, V's Master? Hell yeah, drinking your own coffee. Hello, 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 hello. Hey, yo. What's up, Joseph? I go a little early today, I figure. What are we doing? We got film backups for Nick. Or backups, not backups, backgrounds for Nick. He hasn't asked for them yet, but he will soon. And so I want to be ahead of the curve on it. And I'll be honest, I just didn't feel like shooting anyone or doing some sort of a manual task that I could do in the real world. So, like filming backgrounds. So we're going to do that. You're streaking. What's up, this sheepy? Your chat is so much more chill than Eric's. Well, I pride myself on it. I'm a much more chill guy than Eric is. Guy like me, chill guy. Guy like Eric, no chill. He's always upset about something. I don't give a fuck. See, Regulation Randy, I'm never going to tell you to shut up. That's the difference between a guy like me. I love to say. Stealing Eric's phrases. You nailed on your guess when Noel was written. Eric told me to check out Mega 64. Any good? Yeah. Yeah. I just saw their 6-7 video yesterday. I thought it was pretty funny. All right. I'm so glad I'm not the only one who noticed. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to sound like I was complaining. Oh my God. Is Albert already whining? I just tried to bring him in. Hold on. Well, come on in. I tried to get him in a second ago, but he was on the couch in Emily's office. He has steps. He goes, he gets out of bed after we do. Like, Emily will be in the shower. I'll be downstairs making coffee. And at some point in that process, he'll get up and then he'll go lay on the sofa, the little couch in Emily's office. And he'll stay there anywhere from 15 minutes to like an hour, 2 hours. And then he'll go from that couch to my couch in my office. Even, by the way, if nobody's up here. If we're downstairs, he still does this. And then he'll stay on this couch for a little while, and then he'll go downstairs. It's like his morning routine. I'm sorry, what are Randy's questions? Where I accidentally said his name? Yeah, I'm an idiot. I'll answer the questions you asked, Eric. And then you won't get it from me. Okay. Let's go ahead and flip over. We're in... let's see. We're playing Call of the Wild Angler. We haven't done this one in a while. We're in Norway. Thank you for the sub, Stormy. I love you. You're my favorite person in this chat. Don't tell the other guys, but you're my favorite. It would hurt their feelings, and we don't want to do that, but I like you so much. Oh, see, I can answer that. Is that Shohei Ohtani in your wrestling? It absolutely is. Big Shohei fan. Love the Dodgers. You know me. Eric, L.A. Dodger, Badur is my nickname. Gohei Shohei is what I say. See, I can answer these questions for you. Thank you, Sans99. Don't tell anybody in the chat, but you're my favorite person. I don't want it to get out. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I like you the best. That's Slow King. What is your favorite topping on a hot dog? I just like a Chicago dog, but more than anything, so that combination. I'm also a big chili cheese fan. Chili with cheese. With Flight Simulator, it had a HUD. Flight Simulator has a HUD, I think. Gavin had a reason for not wanting to touch a fish, and I don't blame him. Holy shit! Thank you, Brief Relief. Don't tell anybody. I really appreciate that, man. Appreciate that a lot. Also, Ashley, thank you. Don't tell anybody. You're also my favorite. It was my first time spending any length of time in Eric's chat that I didn't know there were rules. I didn't know that there were rules either. I'll be honest, I wasn't aware that there were rules. Eric's a guy like Eric, big rules guy. Guy like me, let you do what you want. As long as you're not hurting anybody, do whatever you want in my chat. A guy like Eric loves rules. A guy like Eric thrives on rules. All right. So I figure I put on the map a random check mark, or about right here, which is about halfway through, and it's right where the water's crossing. And I feel like there's probably a lot to visually look at over there. But first, I want to go over here and take a right, and I want to. Oh shit! Thank you. I want to check out this windmill I saw over here. I thought that may be a fun thing to film. So what do you say? What do you say we go check it out? Check it out. I love there's a fucking car in this game. I wish I could get... I think I have to play Hunter Call of the Wild long enough to unlock the car, and I'm just not going to do that. The car... I guess I already did it in this game, or it was available out the gate. I did play it a little bit before I started filming in it. That is how I... Oh, there's a cruise ship. That's a cool background. Not mad at that. Uh-oh. All right, let's not get this bad boy stuck. Well, we'll exit the car here. Whoa. Fredbert's taking his pants off. Mark wants Indian food for breakfast. Can't make that. Come on. Let me around. Is this an invisible wall? Is that what's going on here? Have I been invisible walled by the game? Yes. No. Huh. Pretty sure there was a... There. Wow, it's further away than I thought. Is there a closer one? I like the ship. I like the ship. Jump! Let's find our shot and get set. Not bad, though, huh? That thing's so far off. And so, oh, no, there's a farm of them. Oh, well, that's nice, too. Let's do this first. Okay. All right. Switch over to El Gato. Oh, shit. Is this going to work in El Gato? Let's try. See if it counts up. Yeah, okay. I think we might be all right. We're going to try this for 15 minutes. That's a Viking cruise ship. This is Norway. Mods denied my appeal, so I went to the Patreon, and Andrew pushed it. We've had the discussion before. Uh-oh. I don't know what we're talking about, but uh-oh. You want to go on an Amazon River cruise? That'd be cool, Mark. That would be cool. He probably doesn't want to spend 10 minutes every stream explaining what is happening to every new person. Eric is good at his job. He will explain what you need to know. Just take it in. Eric is great at his job. Oh my God. It's my boy Okashio Koto. Got any personal collection cards on the way? Yeah, I got some Marcus Smarts coming in. I've been on a little Marcus Smart buying spree since the new Topps Chrome came out. There's a lot of cool parallels, and Marcus Smart is going for cheaper than ever right now, so I'm taking advantage. Trooper, been watching a lot of old AH vids recently and feeling very nostalgic. Just wanted to say thanks for all the laughs throughout my teen years. Glad to see you're still around. Thank you so much. Hey, Trooper, if you're not aware, the AH party is still rolling in regulation form. Gavin and Andrew Panton and Nick and Eric and I started a new company when Rooster Teeth died called Regulation, and we do gameplay and live action and a bunch of other stuff, but mostly we do a podcast called a Regulation Podcast that I'd love for you to check out if you're not aware of it already. You were on the largest cruise ship in the world at the time in like 1999. What is the one now? It's like the Icon of the Seas or the Behemoth of the Seas or the Cthulhu of the Seas or something. Seems like we're still going. You ever see those pictures of like cruise ships today side by side to the Titanic? It's pretty hilarious. My Murdler arrived at my house. Is so cold. It's always red. 35 streams in a row. Jesus Christ, Chris. That's awesome. You might have the record right now. I went to Bermuda once on a cruise, and my grandmother broke her ankle and was so seasick the whole time. Never went on a cruise again. I have never been interested in cruises. What's up, Malibu Pack? You got any idea why he is like he is? I think it's the Canadian in him. I was like that too, C-Rob, until I went on that cruise last year and absolutely fell in love with it. And I've already booked a cruise for 2026. So I don't know that I'm a cruise guy, but I liked it enough to go a second time. But I didn't break my ankle, and nobody I knew did either. Somebody did get bit by a cat, though. That was kind of funny. Yeah, I know about the Survivor crossover. I'm a little bummed by it. I do forget he's Canadian, yeah. He doesn't lead with it. Towels folded to look like monkeys in the window. That's cute. I'm laughing at the thought of Geoff just sending Nick Windows 98 screensaver videos. What's your recommendation on a cruise? Like, on a cruise line? We did Tauk, T-A-U-K. We did a Greece and Turkey tour. And that company's great. It's for old people, you know? Like, it's going to be a bunch of retirees and you, so I don't know if that's a problem. It's definitely not a young partying crowd, but I'm usually going with my in-laws, so that's the vibe. But I'm very happy with that vibe. You only get Norwegian out of Boston. I think everyone is having a solid morning, from what I can tell, Taylor. I hope so, too. Hope you are. I hope this records. I don't have a lot of luck with Elgato if my computer's been on for a while. And I forgot to turn it off before we got started today because I didn't put two and two together that I'd be recording. Anybody else have that audio issue? Alaska is amazing. Good choice. Do I use a single PC setup for streaming? Yeah, typically. I have two computers here, but I have my Mac that I record regulation on and then a PC that I stream and record gameplay on. But I have we bought new computers for everybody, so that we're all on the same equipment. I'm just too scared to set it up. It's still in this box right here. Yeah, I think it might just be a glitch. I want to try downloading it again. Because I was able to listen to it fine yesterday when I was spot checking it. But thank you for letting me know. Why isn't it under my feet? No, yeah, Nick and Gav still haven't come over to put it together. I just don't want to put it together and end up in the same situation that I'm in right now with this kludgy setup. You know, I want to do it and do it right. And Eric had trouble, and so I don't want to have trouble. Having a great day, Jay Begley. Day 7 of not smoking. Congratulations. Whoop whoop indeed. It's the new Andrew headboard. I have it halfway up the stairs. Yeah, today we're going back to an old favorite. Call the Wild. Three-hour doctor appointment on Monday. Woo! Getting blood drawn 4 times. Got to do it though. Got to take care of ourselves. Oh, I think I need to download some Windows games, some Steam games today for tomorrow. Let's look into that. Not die and save money. I'm going to read more and also not die. Get more exercise. All the usuals. You always pass out. I'm not crazy about them, but I used to have issues with needles, but I kind of had to get over it to do the tattoos. So as long as I watch it go in, I'm cool. I don't like to look away, you know? I like to see it go in. And then I'm like, okay. Although I will say, as I get older, you know, your veins aren't as strong the older you get. I used to have like, you know, they pop out. And now they don't as much. And with the tattoos, if the phlebotomist is not, I don't know, super experienced, sometimes they can have trouble. I had to get blood drawn out of my fucking wrist one time because they just couldn't find any veins in my arm because they were just so confused by the tattoos. But that's only happened once. I've had a few times, actually, but only once that bad. Guy like me, 100% look away guy, I got to see it go in. Got to watch. Tattoos don't count. They definitely do. Seven streak. Plug me into the Matrix. After 5 times trying to get blood. Yeah, that happened to Millie not too long ago too, and she had to get some blood drawn, and I was there with her and ended up having to go on her wrist. Used to donate plasma as a broke college kid. We used to donate it in the Army. It was like you get $70 a pop for donating blood, and you could only donate it once every 6 weeks or something, every 3 weeks. And then you could donate plasma, and I want to say that was $200 a pop, and you could do that like every 6 weeks. Anyway, almost every soldier in Fort Hood was donating blood and plasma the second they were allowed to for extra money to survive. We would drive down together. Thank you for the sub, Mr. Sista Fista. Until I started getting tattooed, and then I couldn't donate blood anymore, and I lost that revenue stream that everybody else had. I might be remembering the days wrong. Maybe you could donate plasma more often than blood, or I don't remember. Plasma was worth more than blood, and there was, I don't know, there was a way to game the system too, where you could cheat and donate more often. I don't remember exactly how we did it, but like I said, I didn't do it very long because I started getting tattoos, and then I was never without it. I was never long enough past the tattoo to draw blood or to give blood ever again. Pretty much after that. Yeah, it does. It saves a lot of lives. I lost the ability to give blood because of tattoos, because I was getting tattooed like every 3 or 4 months, and it was kind of a bummer too, because the money I would have used to get tattoos I would have gotten from giving blood. Pool leak detection today, like in a swimming pool. Do we still intend on flipping the regulation coin 5 times in a row for a get out of Greg card? That's a great question. We kind of fell off of that. We should get back to that. I'm O positive. I knew a guy who's a really nice kid. He was an infantry kid. He was assigned our headquarters duty to be a driver because he was for the company commander, I guess, maybe battalion commander. I don't really remember. It was HHC First Cav, but he was an infantry kid, and he lived with us in like the HHC barracks because he was a duty driver, I believe. Anyway, he saved up for like 4 months to fly his girlfriend down to visit him by donating blood and plasma, and he stopped getting haircuts, and I started cutting his hair for him, which was terrible. I'd just buzz it so he could save money there, and he saved every fucking cent he had. He was a really nice kid, real positive, real respectful, really like genuinely good guy, and flew his girlfriend down, and she broke up with him. And I just remember thinking, like, I can't imagine sitting there and giving blood fucking 3 times a month or whatever it was for 4 straight months just to save up to buy a plane ticket for a girl to break up with me to my face. Ugh. And that's the story of just about everybody I was in the Army with in some fashion or another. Yeah, he was pretty bummed. Robert's over there huffing about something in his sleep. Oh, who knows? It felt like it at the time, but, you know, I don't know what the dynamics of their relationship were, and I only knew him. I didn't really know her. And so, you know, and yeah, I knew everything through the lens of his story, which was pretty sad, but who knows what her position on it was, you know? What's up, Crimson Shade? Is my webcam in the recording? Thank you for asking, and it's not. I'm recording in Elgato for that reason, just hoping that it does record. And we just hit 15 minutes, so we're going to stop and see. Before we progress. Let's see. You guys can't see this part, but I'm looking through my files. Captures. Migrate game. Uh-oh. Huh. It doesn't seem to have recorded. Shit. All right. Well, we'll close Elgato down. Elgato is fucking spotty, man. Let me check it again. 12. No, nothing for today. Okay. That's unfortunate. Okay. Hopefully. And then, like, it does this thing where if you shut it down, it won't shut down. Let me see if it's actually shut down. Okay. I think it did. We'll try again. Trying to pull this off without having to reboot my computer and stop the stream. Count up. Okay. All right, we're good. I think we're good. We'll go another 15 minutes. The actual capture software blows. It does. It does. And everybody else uses... Well, I could use OBS, but I'm having my webcam up, so... One of the funniest moments I remember from hunting ghosts. Man, I don't know. That whole era of my life is kind of a blur, you know? Looking back, I don't like to look back because I get stuck in nostalgia loops in general. And I have a lot of complicated emotions about my time in Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth in general, which makes it not as much fun to look back on. But it all just kind of runs together. I remember having a whole lot of fun in the Hellfire Caves, laughing a lot that day, driving in from London to Wickham in vans. I remember that being a funny day. I don't remember why or what specifically about it. I just remember laughing a lot. I remember laughing. I remember being on the plane from Perth to Melbourne to film. Yeah, we finished the tour, right? We finished the tour in Perth, and then we flew to Melbourne to film in the jail, the GAOL. And I remember that plane ride being especially funny. I don't remember why. I wish I had specific moments to tell you. I just remember laughing a lot on that plane ride. Jeremy, he has published 2 books, I believe. Go Nitro. It's about a future superhero kind of thing. Man, people love that dungeon crawler Carl series, huh? If I wasn't so deep into the Horus heresy, maybe I'd give it a shot. 2 chapters in, or two chapters in, Mark. Started reading it yesterday. I'm at the point where a bunch of assholes who are part of an empire, War Master, new War Master, he's getting the handle of it. He's not used to being called War Master yet. He thinks he likes it, though. They're flying around, checking shit out, and they have to go around a storm, and they end up in our solar system, and they see a bunch of space military and stuff, and they go over there, and they're like, hey, we're going to assimilate you into our thing, and then in Earth, I guess it was because they keep referring to it as the third planet, there's an emperor, and he's like, no, you demand fealty to me. And they're like, no. And then he kills their emissary and then he shoots down their second emissary, and now they're fighting green people. Like the next thing it is, they're storming a base, and I assumed it was the human base, but everybody's green, so I don't know. Pride and Prejudice is a great book. Sense and Sensibility is really good too. I think Persuasion is low key the best Jane Austen novel, though. If you like those other two, read Persuasion. Emma's good. There's a lot of, but Lady Susan's good. But I think Persuasion. Hello, Leo Panda. Maybe they're green because they eat a lot of asparagus. I'm not sure. It hasn't. There's been no mention of asparagus in the book yet. That first planet is a fake Earth. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, but I'll keep reading. It's basically the dude Locum or Locus or Loken or whatever his name is. Lork. I gotta remember his dumb names and the weird shit they call everything. He's like telling the story about when he saw the Emperor die, and now we're just battling. And I don't know if it takes place immediately after, or if this is like 100 years after, or this is like the next day. It hasn't been made apparently clear to me yet, but they're about to meet the Invisible Warriors, which I assume means this is in that same period, I guess on the fake Earth, whatever the fuck that is, because the invisible soldiers are the ones that, the Invisibles are the ones that killed that dude's buddy. Saw a guy at Great Lakes Crossing Mall wearing the red rubber boots, keeping his feet warm. Listen to Stiff Little Fingers recently because it's all right, despite growing up where they are from, pretty much. And now I'm going to go see them live this year. Oh, hell yeah. What's your favorite Stiff Little Fingers song? That's awesome. Cutting the shit out of his shins, yeah, but for fashion. Fashion. He likes to rewatch the end where all the guys are saying nice things to you because it makes Geoff happy. Oh. Aspergigus. Yeah, I hated when Millie learned how to say words right. It was a bummer. She had said so many little things, so many things cute. Alternative Ulster is great. Yeah. You called elevators alligators? Nah. Doodads. Yeah, they suck, Gwen. They're very painful to wear. You need padding or something at your shins. Beauty is pain. I mean, I'm pretty sure high heels aren't comfortable either. Oh man, sucks to have to double record this, but hopefully we got it this time. The pants probably helped a lot, yeah. I'm sure they did. That's probably all you need. I've never worn them outside of shorts. All right, got about 6 minutes left on this guy, and then we'll see if we got it. Record these. Sometimes I do. Like, I will... Hey, what's up, Toiletastic? It just depends on how many I need. Like, a lot of days and what I have going on. Sometimes I'll start in the evening, and I'll set a shot like this up, and then walk away for 20 minutes, come back, move it, do another shot, and just do that all night till I go to bed. That's what I did the last time. But, you know, I like doing it this way too. Call of the Wild, the Angler, I believe. Shorts only guy. Been meaning to tell you that I have a Christmas tradition that's similar to the break show, opening blind boxes and packs. I did Emily's girly luck nail thing and got almost everything I wanted. So I want to ask, is Emily a witch? I don't know how to answer that. She might be. She has a lot of candles. Such a pretty game. Yeah, it really is. Cosmo Pearls podcast has made it very clear that they are witches. Well, there you go. Emily is very witchy, for sure. She says that's how she got me. Got a lot more than that when I lived in the South. I was a shorts and bare feet guy. Ooh, boy. What's up, D5_2110? Any favorite Minecraft games you built or played with the age boys? I liked most of them. I thought CTF was very well, or CTT, sorry, was very well built, very well balanced. I like Clouds. I really liked Enter the Nega Tower. I wanted to continue that. We never did. Yeah, I don't know. I liked a lot of them. I loved them. They were fun to make. I like dropping butts. That was a good one. It was fun to figure out. Weird. Where did... Huh. All right, 2 more minutes. You liked Farmer Geoff? Yeah, that was fun. I had a good time. That's kind of like my last hurrah with those guys. Was doing the Simple Geoff thing. Lava Wall was funny. Yeah. A minute and a half till we find out if this was a Another wasted 15 minutes or not. Fingers crossed. Knock on press board. I like the Mercantile. Was that Spring Harvest or whatever? That's true. That's true. I do get to spend more quality time with you guys on the backgrounds than I do when we're playing Bolt Gun or something else. Still Dave the Diving? No, I'm not done. I just haven't started it back up yet since I got back from Christmas. And I wanted to get ahead of this. Dig Down? That was a fun one. Mega Dig would have been fun if we hadn't had so many technical problems that day. Less killing in the background. It's kind of what I like about it. Have a good one, Regulation Randy. What advice would you give to a newbie? Dude, I'll be honest with you, Real Wayne Evans. I got no advice. I'm not a voice actor. I never sought out being a voice actor. When we would have auditions at Rooster Teeth for other companies like Funimation or for other Rooster Teeth gigs, I almost never participated. I think I did. I think I auditioned for one role in Gen X and didn't get it, and that's like maybe the only other thing I auditioned for in Rooster Teeth outside of Griff. It wasn't my forte or my cup of tea or something that I particularly enjoyed doing. A lot of people in the company loved it. A lot of people like did it and then fell in love with it and wanted to make a career out of it. Obviously, Michael and Lindsay had some success with it. There's a lot of talented people that did it. I would recommend asking any of them because I only voice acted a character that was given to me by Bernie because I needed to. And I enjoyed doing Griff, but I never sought anything after that and have no passion for it. So I think I'd be a terrible person to give any advice. Just not my cup of tea. Good luck on your errands. All right, let's see. No problem. I just would hate to blow smoke up your ass and give you some sort of advice that I don't really believe or that wouldn't help you because I don't really have any, I guess. All right, we're good. We got our video. Great. All right, we can move on to the next one. Check out these. I wonder if I can change time of day without leaving the game. I might be able to. I think I tried that leaf raking game and it wasn't for me. I don't remember what it was about it that bugged me. Loopy Lupe. You know... Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can change the time of day. Can I... Don't think so. Yeah. What's up, Wungus? What are we talking about? Bernie, a friend of ours does voice acting. Attend lessons and workshops and network. Okay, there you go. Maybe do that. Do I ever miss Bama? Never. Miss my family, but I definitely don't miss Bama. You were shocked Gavin didn't remember Loopy Lupe? I wasn't surprised at all. He was... That's Gavin. See you, Caesar. I'm not a voice actor. I'm a griff actor. I'm not an actor. That's the thing. I never wanted to be an actor. Just wanted to be funny. Speaking of voice acting, though, how did the Red Dead thing come out? It was you and Jack. Yeah, like, that's a great example. I'd forgotten about that. We were just really tight with the Rockstar guys. They invited us to do a video with them once because they'd seen us playing a lot of GTA stuff. We did, and it went really well. That's the day we met James Buckley, I believe. And we just really clicked with some of the guys that work behind the scenes there. And then Jack and I became friendly with Laszlo. And then they just called us out of the blue. I mean, they would always bring us up to play stuff at their headquarters in New York and bring us out early for stuff, which we always really appreciated. And that's actually a relationship maybe the only gaming relationship that I'm bummed I'm not in that world anymore, so I don't really communicate with those people in that way. I don't do that kind of stuff anymore. I really genuinely loved everybody who worked at Rockstar. They were really good people, really cool people, at least the people that we worked with. And so just one day, Laszlo called us and just said, hey, we want to throw you and Jack into or they may have called Jack and said, we want to throw you and Geoff into the game if you want to come out. And so we did. And that was fun. But even that, I felt silly doing. I had to fake a Southern accent because I no longer have a real one. You know, I was Southern as fuck for the first 18 years of my life, but dropping that accent in the Army, anytime I try to adopt it again, it just sounds fake and put upon to me, which makes it very difficult. And what am I going to do? Say no to getting to be in Red Dead Redemption? Like, if they called me up today and said, we want you to do a small bit part in GTA 6, I'm not saying no. Obviously, I'm going to do it. But I would never seek out work in voice acting. I don't think I'm very good at it, and I certainly don't enjoy it to that degree. Oh, yeah? Yeah, Jack does, I think he hosts Channel 37 stuff every week, I want to say. Oh, yeah, Mark? I'll see you at the Valentine train station. Hello, Regulation Moon Girl. Would I seek a career in hand modeling? No, I'm not David Duchovny. Geoff voice acts as someone not from the South every day of his life now. No kidding. I'm trying to drive and look at the chat at the same time. I'm having mixed results. I noticed while you guys were playing the hole digging game that you bumped the mic a lot switching knees. Why don't you guys screw the mics into the walls? We just got them set up on that table. We're figuring it out still. I'm just fidgety. I just need to stop fidgeting. That's the problem. Thank you for the sub, Adidas. I don't want anybody else to know this, but you are my favorite. But keep it on the down low. I don't want the rest of the girls in the chat to know that you're my favorite. It's gone. It's 100% gone. It's going to sound really morbid, and I don't mean it to be, but it is true. It died with my grandfather. The only time I ever had a Southern accent after I left home in 1993 was when I would go home and visit my grandparents, and I was unaware that I was doing it, but I did it up until the day he died. I would slip into a Southern accent when I talked to my grandfather. People would film it and then show it to me later, and I'd be like, what the fuck? It's just like something about talking to him made me speak. I don't know. He's my grandpa. Like I'm a 10-year-old kid again, I guess, you know? And so I would suddenly have a very heavy Southern accent talking to my grandfather, but I couldn't replicate it intentionally. It just happened. Incredibly sweet in a way. Oh, thank you, Doc Lancer. How close are we? Getting pretty close. This isn't a bad area. Oh, there's a little... All right, well, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're filming here. All right, 15 minutes of this. It is funny because I've lived all over the U.S. and I've moved around a lot. I moved around a lot as a kid, but I moved around a lot as an adult too. And the only time I've ever adopted any hint of an accent is when I lived in New Jersey. I started to pick up a little tint of that, and I would notice it and be embarrassed by it because I'm like, I'm not from New Jersey. Why am I trying to sound like this? I'm capturing my video just fine. Did you say wooder? Did I sound like Michael Jones? Not exactly. Similar. Accent mimicry is a very ADHD thing. Well, that would make sense. I was told by multiple doctors as a child that I had ADD or ADHD. ADD, I guess, at the time. And my mother was very clear to the doctor that she didn't believe in that and that was not a thing. And I just needed to run around. I just needed to go outside and run around a little bit. So that's how we dealt with it. Whenever I'd get too annoying in class, she had it worked out with the teachers. When I'd finish my work and I'd start to be disruptive, they would let me go run around the track. That's how they handled my ADD growing up in the 80s. To be fair, that's how you treat ADHD. Worked for me, I guess. I'm doing okay in life. Thanks for everything you guys do. I got my Murdler, but my wife immediately claimed it. No problem. Thank you. There'll be more Gerplers on the way. I think I'm going to place the order for the next batch today. As soon as I'm done here, I'll hop over there and do that. They treated you like a dog. I guess so. Worked, though. Is that the other Gerpler you guys showed off before the mix-up? Yeah. Yeah, the green and purple one. Well, that'll be our spring Gerpler. I think we'll try to have it by April. Everything's great. Hope everything's good with you. What is... I had a tag in the back of my shirt. How many coins next coin? I think that'll be up to the coin. To the coin monger. Gavin. Nobody has reported getting the green one yet, but I know it was sent out. Yeah, the spring garp hasn't been discovered yet, to my knowledge. I like coins too. We were talking in the, I think it was in the game about digging a hole stream we did last Friday. We talked about maybe doing a... Did we talk about it on there? Maybe I should talk to the guys before I mention it. A new coin, but I don't know if it was said on stream or off stream. The shadow boxes behind me are all graded cards. Yes. Yeah, it was on stream. Okay. Talked about doing a falcon and pigeon coin. I really like that idea. That's stuck with me. It's stuck with me. I wrote it down, and it's been in my head the entire time. I like the idea of a coin that's a pigeon on one side and a falcon on the other, and it's up for you to decide what heads and tails is, you know? It's a little ambiguous. Personally, I'd kind of like if there was just one variant of coin that was mostly available. If you got a penny, you need a dime. You need a nickel. You need a quarter. I started the Horus book, yeah. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the podcast. I'm very early in, maybe 2 chapters in, about 30 pages in. A long sleeve regulation garment. Maybe. The thing with the merch is that we try to only make it when it is in the service of the show in some way, you know, a bit or some sort of a joke. Thank you for the... Listen. Hold on, everybody. Everybody, earmuffs. I need to talk to It's Me, Tycho, for a second alone. So everybody... All right. Hey, It's Me, Tycho. It's Geoff. Thank you for that sub. I really appreciate that. Don't let the other guys know, but you're kind of my favorite. I really appreciate you. You and me. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, earmuffs off. We're good. Need to go listen to the podcast. Have a great stream. Thank you so much. Secret safe with me, Tycho. So anyway, I'm not opposed to doing a long sleeve shirt, but if there's not like a specific reason for it, then we're just making merch, and I'm okay with that, but I don't want to get trapped into that cycle where we're just make merchandise and put our logo on it in different forms and be like, well, here's a messenger bag, here's a backpack, here's a hoodie, here's a zip up sweater, you know, here's a t-shirt, here's a long sleeve, here's a white version, here's a black version. I don't want to get trapped in that Achievement Hunter Rooster Teeth cycle again. You didn't hear anything, Braxton, man. Still have a Caboose -1 messenger bag. Man. I remember being so proud of those messenger bags when we got them. We made a red versus blue one and a Caboose one. Were the first 2 we made, I think. I can't remember if we made a Sarge one or not, but we definitely made those 2. And I thought that we were fucking big time making messenger bags, and we bought like 200 of them at the time, I think. Maybe 400, probably 200. And that seemed insane to me. Invest that much into something. My old bed, Geoff, body pillow haunts the bedroom floor. Ugh. I really need to catch up on the break show. I'm a big card guy. I've never seen that specific part of regulation content. Oh, man, you would love it, Luxury. It's not all cards, but it's mostly cards. And every episode, not every episode, but almost every episode, we identify one card that we've opened throughout the day that exemplifies regulation in some way. And we induct it into the regulation card collection, which is, I think, 14 cards deep now. We just inducted a card in Monday. And we try to pick cards that are not expensive. Maybe not immediately easy to get a hold of, but not expensive to get a hold of so that you can collect along without breaking the bank. Good luck, Regulation Moon Girl. Crimson Shade, thank you very much. Hey, Crimson Shade, I love you. I love everybody, but I might love you a little bit more. I'd be lying if I said you weren't my hero and that I look up to you. I think about you a lot. Yeah, it was a Richard Kind, Allen and Ginter card. I think we inducted the Chrome parallel in, but the base card is fine. Any version of the Richard Kind card works. A boy who had a crush on me in high school brought me an Achievement Hunter boy band poster for Christmas, and it made me very uncomfortable because I didn't like him back, so I gave it to my sister. Aww. Oh, I'm glad too. Glad to have you. Glad to have you here, Schweitzer. Why? That is a good question. Why is Geoff the only Geo that caught on? George, I guess. My parents are very confused when I have my boy band poster on my wall. I think you broke him. Me? Who? Pumped for Celtics versus Nugs tonight. I am too. It is a delight to tune in to the Celtics. I'm so overjoyed by this season. Let me tell you, I had such little expectation for the year. I wasn't going to take it off, but I had decided this was going to be my year that I didn't have to watch every game because I've been on a run, the last since 2016 really. And I'm just ready for I'm just burned out. It's a lot of summer league to preseason to the regular season to the playoffs to the finals to the draft back to summer league. It's a cycle that if your team goes deep, there's just not a lot of breaks. And I've been enjoying hockey so much, I thought I would enjoy a little bit more hockey than basketball this year and just kind of take a step back. And then the Celtics have been the most fun to watch since maybe the 2017 team, 2018 team. And so that threw a wonderful monkey wrench into things. We could use an NBA update on Solright. All right. I meant to, you know what? I actually recorded Solright yesterday, and I got to edit after this. And I had intended to do a sports update in general, and then I forgot. I got caught up talking about other stuff, and I completely forgot. I'll do it next week or soon. Yeah, Brown is... I think Brown always knew he was that guy. I think Brown was taking one for the team by deferring to Tatum for the good of the team. And now that Tatum is out for a little bit, Brown is able to show his true potential. And I don't think he even leveled up. I think he just took the mantle when it was available. I think he's always been this guy. Thank you, Loin Sniffer. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Do you do sports betting? No. I would. I shouldn't say no. It's not illegal in Texas, so I can't do FanDuel or whatever, which is probably good for me. But when I go to Vegas, I do gamble. I do bet on sports there. It's kind of what I do in Vegas because I don't really play card games or any other gambling games, so I bet on horses a little bit. Sometimes basketball or baseball. How many points will the Celtics win by? I really don't know. Jaylen Brown will get the most points, but I don't know how much they'll win by. This is an interesting Nuggets team right now without Joker. Jefferson. They used to call me Jeffro in grade school. I did see that a bunch of NFL coaches got sacked. No kidding. Holy shit. It was a bloodbath in the NFL for coaches this week. Nuggets are running on the power of friendship. They're a good team, though. I mean, clearly they're a good team. And I know losing Joker is nightmarish. And it's not just Joker they've lost. They're kind of beset by injuries. But when they're healthy, they're going to be really tough. And now San Antonio has proven 3 times that the Oklahoma City Thunder are mortal and beatable. And I can't imagine that hasn't emboldened every team in the NBA right now. It'll be interesting to see. I think it's going to be a really interesting trade deadline because there's a lot of teams that are close to being good enough to beat Oklahoma City, I think. And there's a lot of teams that are maybe one piece away, one difficult trade piece away, and they were probably going to hold pat and say, like, well, this is Oklahoma City's year. Maybe we'll wait till next year. We'll do it in the offseason. We'll see how this plays out. But now I think a lot of people realize they're a lot closer to Oklahoma City than they thought, or maybe a little bit, and that maybe a little push, like maybe Detroit makes one more trade. Maybe Boston goes out there and spends a little bit on a serviceable big. They might be in the serious contention and the serious hunt. So it'll be interesting to see if Houston, Los Angeles, San Antonio. I don't think San Antonio is going to make them. San Antonio's not going to make a move. Denver, Detroit, New York, Orlando make a move. I think most of those teams will. Be interesting. Also, Oklahoma City's 6-5 in their last 11 games. 3 of those are San Antonio, but still they lost to Portland. They lost to somebody the other day. The Wizards, maybe? I don't know. They got their ass beat by Charlotte. It was maybe Charlotte. One thing is certain, Bulls might make some move, but they won't really change much. The Bulls are a 500 team, and that's all they want to do, and that's all they'll ever do. I don't understand it. They'll make a move so that they can be 42-40. They need to get Josh Giddey back. What are your thoughts on the Rockets? I think that they need a point guard. I think that Rollins is good, but I think that they're feeling the FEV absence. And if I were them, I would try to pick up like a Jose Alvarado or someone like that to really buoy them at the 1. And then I think they're solid. A really good team. And I think it's the best place. It's the best fit for Kevin Durant in a long time. Huge Amon Thompson guy. Amon and Osar are both awesome. Absolutely awesome. Potential-wise. Amon is further along because Osar had that injury, I think, but they both are tremendously talented. It's a good time to be bad, yeah. I mean, the draft is going to be eaten up by... Clearly, Indiana is going to finish 30th, I think. New Orleans... Brooklyn... I don't know about Brooklyn, man. MPJ's been balling out. Brooklyn's going to fuck around and end up out of the top 4 if they don't watch it. They should probably trade MPJ if they don't want to keep winning or if they don't want to win. Who else is there? Washington. Washington will probably be down there at the bottom. Washington's interesting. I really like Alexander Sarr. I think he's got a lot of potential, so it'll be... I don't know. We'll see. Oh, 17 minutes. All right, here we go. Let's stop this. See if it stops. Make sure we got it. And we do, I think. Let's double check. I'm about to do some file management soon. It's good. Okay, moving on to the next location. What's good on Game Pass right now? A game about digging a hole. Is that on Game Pass? I just played that. I think that was Game Pass. That was good. Ball Pit, if it's on Game Pass, is really good. Game Pass is great right now. I mean, I know it's the price increase sucks, but there's a lot of good games on it right now. Mark gets stuck in the pool. Oh, here we go. I'm playing hooky on my job right now because my dad happens to be in town and asked me to go get breakfast with him. So that's what I'm going to go do instead of being in the pool. Hell yeah, Mark. Where are you guys going to get breakfast? Expedition 33 is on Game Pass. That's supposedly a game of the year, right? So I still haven't played it other than the one Let's Play we did in it. It looked great, though. And I always meant to come back to it, but I still want to play Oblivion, and I still want to play Outer Worlds 2, and Expedition 33 is another RPG in the mix, and I'm not making any progress on the other two. And now I'm in the middle of Fallout 4 with Emily at night, so I just don't know. Too many games, not enough time. It's definitely true. What 3 Austin's restaurants would I take Andrew to? You know, I hate to lame out on this answer, but I really don't know. I'm pretty out of it in Austin restaurant culture. It moves so fast now that the city's bigger that it's the second you find a restaurant, it's gone. And it's been replaced by something else, or there's some new restaurant or some other restaurant group brought them and rebranded them, and like there's so much turnover here. And there's so much like hot in the moment business that it's kind of hard to keep track of it all. I did just have La Barbecue the other day, and it was great. It's the first time I've had it in years. Years and years and years. But I was kind of craving a little bit of barbecue, which I rarely am. And so I thought I'd get it, and it was worth it. It was great. Also, pro tip for anybody that lives in Austin and isn't aware and doesn't want to wait in a 4-hour line for La Barbecue, you can just order ahead. Go pick it up. I ran into a regulation listener in the audience, actually. It just moved here from Alaska. You can just order it on their website and then... Okay. I like the bridge. I like the water. I like the... Just keep driving, see what we see. Our favorite Cuban Tampa food place, La Teresita. Sounds delicious. Did Emily just think Fallout 4 looked interesting, or did she watch the show and want to try the game? She has played Fallout Shelter on her phone a little bit, and she liked that. And then she loves the TV show, which is interesting because she hates space problems. And Fallout is firmly space problem in every direction. But something about it works for her, and I am all about nurturing that because it's rare that she is into space problems, you know? And so when she expressed some kind... She's been expressing interest in a proper Fallout game slowly over time, and we were just up in Detroit over the holidays, and her sister had played a little bit of Fallout 4 and had gotten stuck on it and was talking about it. And I don't know, something about the conversation made Emily say, what if we gave it a shot? And then she played for about an hour and then asked me to control it. She's not crazy about FPS controls. And so now she dictates what I do, and then I just do it, and that's working out well, and she seems into it. And I'm into fostering that. All space problem, all sci-fi and fantasy is space problems. If there's a dragon or a laser in it, or a spaceship, or a wizard, it's space problems. I don't know why they had to put the fucking power lines in. Like, do we have to be that accurate? Well, you can barely see him at least. This is nice, right? Yeah. All right. Third one. Warhammer 40k is the epitome of space problems. Certainly seems to be. Harry Potter is space problems. Yeah. Absolutely. Space Problems knocks out most franchises for me, yeah. Have I been doing any reading lately? Yeah. I've been reading, I just finished a book called A Rage in Harlem that was really good. Like 1930s New York crime noir. Brutal book. And then I've started this Warhammer 40k novel, The Horus Uprising, I think is what it's called. Have you tried Baldur's Gate? No, I haven't played it yet. Sandy Stories. Everybody loves space problems with Emily. What am I doing? Just filming backgrounds for regulation for the podcast. Sit here for about 15 minutes, film this, then we'll move on. No other popcorn buckets in the making, no. Nothing planned. I think that's probably a one-off for us unless there's a reason to make another one, you know. Do we fuck with corned beef hash? Oh, my God, Mark. That was my favorite MRE in the Army. What other games do we use for filming backdrops? There's a hunting version of this I use. I use No Man's Sky a lot. I use Far Cry 5, I believe it is. Maybe it's 6. I've used quite a bit. Fallout 76 is surprisingly good. There's a few. It's hard to find a game that goes fully HUDless and that lets me sit static for 30 minutes or 15 minutes. Most games. I've used a lot of Sea of Thieves in the past, but they've reduced their idle timer from 30 minutes down to 10, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, it's hard to find a game that lets you go completely HUDless and stationary for upwards of 30 minutes without kicking in some sort of an idle animation screen or something. No, it was way before that stuff, I think. We used to trade our MREs and stuff, but there was no black market. And there was no jalapeno cheese spread didn't exist. There was peanut butter, though. Peanut butter and crackers we used to have a lot. I imagine that's not something game designers think about often. I agree, and they probably shouldn't. We just get lucky. Red Dead's the worst. Red Dead, it's not your fault, Sweet Roll. I get so fucking annoyed when people bring up Red Dead because it is a beautiful game and you can go HUDless, but on the console at least, there is a idle animation that kicks in after 2 minutes, and even if you are walking slowly, it still kicks in. I spent 2 days of my life trying to film in Red Dead and gave up. And I know Nick was able to do it on the PC version, but I'm not going to go buy a whole other version of the game to film backgrounds in on a PC. What's my favorite grunt chow during my time of service? We ate a lot of chili mac. That was always a good day at the mess hall. The Winter Fortress. It's about a Norwegian military group fighting to stop Nazis from building a nuclear bomb. We're down for skiing. Yeah, it's a shame, Sweet Roll. I agree. I love the game, and I'd love to highlight it because it really is beautiful, but it's impossible. I think Starfield I could probably get away with, but it's just a whole thing to install and load it up and try to remember how to play it, you know? But Bethesda games are impossible to jump back into. Well, Chili Mac still slaps. Hell yeah. It might have an idle timer. I don't remember, but I just don't. I also, it's like No Man. I know No Man's Sky works, so I can just do that instead. It's the same thing. If you don't like Horus Rising, don't force yourself to grind through it. Oh, I won't. I definitely won't, Mark. Don't worry. But I like almost everything I read. It's pretty hard. It's pretty rare that I put a book down and don't finish it. It'd have to be pretty bad for me not to get some sort of level of enjoyment out of it. Seems fine so far. You want to play Journey, but it's so sandy. Yeah, I'm not doing anything that... Yeah, exactly. If there's any effort and I have to, like, it's... There's games that it works in without having to do complicated hand gestures, you know, like this game right here. So I'm always going to choose something easy like this over something complicated and difficult that requires a lot of effort or a barrier to entry to get it done. Do you ever finish a book and get mad that you gave it time? Very rarely. I think all games need it's been 10 months and I don't remember any controls things. Yeah. I don't know that I'm done with Call of Duty. I just didn't like this one. I liked the last year's Call of Duty a lot. Was that 6, 5? I liked that one a ton. And I just didn't enjoy the multiplayer in this one, so I haven't fucked with it. But I'm not opposed to the next Call of Duty. Finals is okay. I played it a little bit. What about that one where the author died before finishing the book? The Kafka book? The Castle? What about it? Was I mad at it? Is that what you're asking? No. It was a phenomenal book. It took me 3 years to read that book because I loved the world so much in it, and I didn't want the story to end. I read it slower than I've ever read anything in my life. It was one of the most enjoyable and deep and enriching experiences I've ever had in a book. Finals is too sweaty. Yeah. I read Metamorphosis, and I'm glad I read it, but it was so sad. Yeah. He doesn't write happy books. No, I don't, Syrup. I do that very occasionally when something ends and I don't want it to be over. I still not have finished the IT crowd. I'm the same way. Who Let the Rats Out? I have 3 things that I haven't finished because I don't want them to be over. I haven't finished the Twin Peaks Return. I haven't finished Schitt's Creek. And I haven't finished Ash versus Evil Dead because I don't want any of those 3 worlds to end. Actual Deer Ooze. I didn't know you had a Twitch, Geoff. I do. I hope you're well. I am. Also, if you want a good book rec, leaning on fiction, My Year of Rest and Relaxation. All right. I'll check it out. Thank you. Actual Deer Ooze. Have you read any books that have changed the way you think or your perspective? Too many to count. Yeah. I mean, that's part of why you read books, right? To expand your mind, expand your understanding, to make you look at things in a different way, to make you see things in a different way, teach you to evaluate, teach you to see things from other perspectives. Books are, I don't know, the most valuable thing. Books and music. Ten minutes into this map. I feel like I wish I'd have framed it a little differently. I think I set the camera too quickly, but that's okay. You read a book in high school that changed your life and then reread it in college and it's so fucking bad. I have a similar problem where when people ask me what my favorite book is, I say Catch-22 by Joseph Heller. And it still is, but I've tried to reread it. I've read it twice. I've tried to reread it twice. And both times I tried to reread it in my mid 30s and then again in my early 40s. I couldn't get into it at all. Couldn't get more than 100 pages in. And it just doesn't connect with me anymore in the way that it did, but it connected with me so strongly when it connected with me in such an intense way for so long that even though I don't connect with it anymore, I've never had an experience reading a book that was that powerful and that I enjoyed that much. And so even though I don't technically enjoy it now, I enjoyed it enough early on that it's still, I think, my favorite book of all time. I got a new job in Austin that has given me a very new perspective on the city and some of the people in it. I'd love to hear what that means. London Hayes. The background streams, me too. In the middle of a Tolkien reread, finished The Hobbit, and now several chapters on Fellowship. Yeah, it's just where you are in life when you read it, you know, what it is you're looking to receive from it at that time in your life. Working at a bookstore is terrible because I found so many great books, so many terrible books. Yeah. Clanded after story. Some people have a problem with the animation. Oh. Books around for hundreds of thousands of years. Whoa. Is that cloud or is it time of day changing? Mark loves an audiobook. Do I have any interest in fishing games? Sometimes. That's how I got into this game. Was I was fishing in this game, playing it as intended when I realized it was good for backgrounds. All right. Got about a minute to go on this one. I loved that era of reading, grade school, middle school, book fairs. There's so many classics, so many great books to discover at that age. Agatha Christie is dope. When's the next Fish and Jamboree? We might film it this week. We'll see. If not this week, maybe next week. I need to download some stuff after this. 45 seconds left. Man, Dr. Kinnaman, you just unlocked a memory. Pizza Hut personal pizza for reading at that age. I forgot about that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Getting to your desk and finding the Scholastic flyer? Absolutely. I would come home so excited. I'd circle every fucking book. And then my mom would be like, you can get 2. Where all hell breaks loose because of the rogue truck. I tried to recreate that so many times, Gwen, and I just was never able to. But I agree with you. Yeah, book fairs were the fucking best. Any random movies I've stumbled upon that made an impact? Probably. I'm watching a movie right now. I'm watching 2 movies at the same time. I got made about 10 minutes into both last night, and then I switched from one to the other, and I don't know. I'll have to. I didn't have time to watch them fully anyway, but I'm watching the 1973 film The Long Goodbye, which is a Philip Marlowe detective story novel from Raymond Chandler that's been done a few times, and I wanted to see Elliot Gould's version of Philip Marlowe. I'm only 15 minutes in, so it's just him feeding a cat so far, so I really don't have an impression on it other than I don't like his mumbly ADR in some of the scenes. It's bothered me. And then the 1977 Japanese horror film, I guess it's a horror film, it's weird, called House, about some girls that go visit a house on vacation. And I'm not that far into that either. I'm only about 10 minutes into that. That was recommended to me by somebody. I don't know who or when, but it's on my list. And so I was thinking about doing House 3 ways because I know there's a horror movie from the early 80s that I watched called House, and I bet there's a third one that's not the Hugh Laurie show. Gaius Orpheus says Elliot Gould is so good as Marlowe. I like a young Elliot Gould. I don't like the mumbly ADR as he's walking to the elevator to go down to his car and then come back up. And he's like, but that's my only really knock on the movie so far. I'm not that far into it. But it's funny because where it's filmed, oh, thank you so much. It's Conquering Time. Oh, I appreciate that. And thank you, Iguana Stew, as well. I want you to know, you guys are one of my favorites. It's filmed in this area that I had just seen a TikTok about the unique neighborhoods of L.A. And there's this neighborhood in L.A. where there's like a plot of houses up on the side of a hill, and the only way to get up to them, there's no car to get up to them. You park down here, and you take this elevator, this one specific elevator that exists just for these houses, and it's been that way for a bunch of years, probably 70 years. And lo and behold, I watched that TikTok like a month ago, and I showed it to Emily, and I was like, that's cool. Next time we're in L.A., we should drive by this, see it. And then lo and behold, that's where he lives in the movie. Saw it immediately. Yeah, there's a whole series of house movies, U.S. house movies, but this Japanese house movie I think is different, and there was only one. I remember the house horror movie from the 80s when I was a kid, because I remember House and House 2, but this is something different. Kelly Olynyk, Rondo, and Avery Bradley were our best players. That was a great time, though. Avery Bradley was awesome. He was an awesome lockdown defender when he played for the Celtics. I remember watching him lock down Kyrie and being so impressed. Rondo was my favorite basketball player for his run in the Celtics. Not so much after, especially when he started to get in trouble. And then Kelly Olynyk, he played for San Antonio now, right? I think he's hurt right now. I always liked him too. Also had Brandon Bass on that team, I think. And J.D. Salinger. J.D. Salinger, not J.D. Salinger, Jared Salinger. Jared Sullinger. I think. Correct. The House Japanese is a psychological cult possession horror film that is such a mind bender it needs to be seen. Yeah, that's the one I'm watching right now. Yeah. Gotta love old Maple Dick. That's right. Gotta love Maple Dick. I would love to have him back on the Celtics, honestly. Buffalo Wild Wings burgers are better than their wings. I'll give that a try. Maybe keeping you busy. And it does that. That's okay. It'll calm down in a couple of years. How good was Steve Kerr as a player? He was good. He was a 3-point shooter guy. He was a spot shooter. He was good. I don't think he was ever an all-star level player, but he was a great role player. And he might have made the All-Stars at some point. I don't know. I remember him playing for the Bulls and for San Antonio. I still have my Avery Bradley jersey, but Rondo checked out that last year. They played the 76ers when Nerlens Noel was an... Oh, my God, Nerlens Noel. That was right at the beginning of the process, right? He was like... Nerlens Noel might have been the first pick in the process. Wow. He bounced around. I thought he was going to do... I think he ended up in Dallas for a little bit and was okay there, but yeah. I was kept waiting for him to happen, and he just never did. Same with Markelle Fultz. Do you think Tatum or Brown is better? I mean, assuming Tatum comes back 100%, I think Tatum might be slightly better, but it's close. I mean, we've always viewed them. I think they should be viewed as a 1A, 1B on the team, and I think it could switch easily. And the important thing is that they're able to play together, you know, and continue to play together. I did see Snoop Dogg narrate Steve Kerr getting ejected, and I thought that was pretty funny. I'm not the biggest Snoop Dogg fan these days, but I did laugh at that. All the Inglewood stuff was funny. Oh, shit. We're done with our map. Let's go ahead and stop this. Okay. Okay, excellent. We're good. Let's go find one more location to film and then call it probably. So I got to edit still all right. And I got to get ready for regulation tomorrow. I got to come up with Nostradamus picks. I got to come up with nicknames. I got to get ready for the podcast. We got a lot going on. Got to download some video games to play. We are back in the swing of things, and I am excited. I got to order Gerplers. Gonna be a good day. Productive day. I love a productive day. You know what? Let's exit to main menu. And let's come back in. Same spot. Evening. How can you top Lil Trump this year? I'm not gonna. I thought about it. I haven't put a lot of thought into the nicknames yet, but I thought about. I'm not gonna use it, so I'll say it here. But I thought about saying, okay, if Lil Trump didn't resonate with you last year, I remember that. I don't want to. I want to learn from that. So I'm not sure what it was you didn't like about it, but what about Medium Twump? Medium Twump was what I initially wrote down as his nickname for this year, but I don't think I'll use it. I think I'll give him a break. Not Medium Trump, Medium Twump. 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 Yeah. That's heat, right? Yeah, I know. I agree. Same ass flower everywhere. It's pretty, but I already filmed it. Oh boy. Going off-road. The road had a bend. I did not bend. What game is this? This is Angler, Call of the Wild. We're just looking for filming locations. Ooh, car hauls ass. Albert, you about ready to go downstairs, buddy? I got one more thing to film, and then we'll go get you. Hopefully, get you to go outside and go pee. Why the fuck am I running into everything? I love you even more for being a Hawaiian pizza fan. Well, thank you. I'm a big Hawaiian pizza fan. I don't get the hate. I think people that hate it haven't tried it. Of course, people could say that to me about everything that's white. So, you know, I'm probably a hypocrite in that respect, but I really, 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 really don't get why people don't like Hawaiian pizza. What we got out there? Ow. Is that the cruise ship again? Where the fuck am I? Wait a minute. How did we end up? Can I fast travel to? Will I have the car? Please have the car. Oh, it's this fucking house again. I've already been here. And I don't have the car. Shit. Can I call the car? I can call the car. How do I call the car? There's a way to call the car. I have to call the car at the car place. I thought it would be at the trailhead. That's okay. There's a waterfall. We'll go this way. Fuck it. Jalapeno, Hawaiian pizza with some jalapenos on it. A little spicy Hawaiian. Hey, what's up? Uh-huh. Right? All right. Last one. How old was I when I learned that Shawshank Redemption's a Stephen King story? I think I was always aware of it. Stephen King was huge when I was growing up in the 80s. I started reading Stephen King when I was about 11. I think I read Eyes of the Dragon, and then I read The Dead Zone, and then I read Salem's Lot, and then I read everything up until I think I quit reading Stephen King around 4 past midnight. I read Gerald's Game. But the Bachman books were very popular when I was a kid. I think everybody in my high school read The Long Walk. Like that, or everybody who read in my high school read The Long Walk. Or Rage. Rage was really popular, I remember, in high school. If pizza places in Austin just sell pizza by the slice, Yeah, of course. I think most pizza restaurants do that, yeah. You can go down to Favorite Pizza and get a slice, or I don't know, any of a million pizza places. Smalls. An Al Pastor pizza with a pretty good spicy pork pineapple on it. That sounds nice. Angler, Call of the Wild. I'm sitting on King's Skeleton Crew anthology, and I need to get around to reading it. I read that in high school or middle school, I think. Great. I remember really liking Eyes of the Dragon was your first Stephen King book. Yeah, it was what my mom gave me to read because I wanted to get into them, and I think she thought it would be like the safest since it's just a fantasy story, really. Although it introduces you to Flag, which was really cool to find out he existed in other stories. Working on a gas pump right now? That sounds pretty fun to me, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of places you can get slices locally. Go Celtics. Go Celtics against the Nuggets tonight. Have you tried Pie Society down in San Marcos? I haven't been down to San Marcos in a very long time. My second wife, Millie's mom, was living in San Marcos when I met her. And so I spent a ton of time in San Marcos in the early 2000s, and then I just really haven't been back since then. I liked it a lot. If they'd had a better school system, I'd have even considered living there, to raise Millie, but the school system's dog shit in San Marcos. Chef by Jon Favreau. Yeah, it was a good movie. It's a good movie. I liked it. Nuggets is a funny name for a team. Your mom owned the Dark Tower but never let you read it. I read the first 3 books. I didn't go any further. Millie's great. She's great. She's sophomore in college. Loving life. Thriving. Next time you're in Detroit, I was just there. Check out Sister Pie. They do hand pies too. They are currently closed still for the holiday season, but reopening this month. I have been to Sister Pie, Johan. Thank you. I went there. I've been there a couple times over the past 6 years. I don't think I've been there in a good 2 years, but I went there a few times back in the day. Every time I go by there now, they seem to be closed. But thanks for the recommendation. I do love Sister Pie, and I'm I wouldn't say very familiar with it, but I've eaten there multiple times, or at least gotten pies from there multiple times. Louis, thank you for stopping by. What kind of camera do I have? I have I don't know, Razer. I don't know, man. Razer Kaios or something like that. It doesn't have a name on it. I can't see off the top of it. I'm trying to remember the box, but I threw it away a year ago. So, Kaios maybe, something like that. Does that sound right? It's a big circular webcam. I read like best webcams, and it came up a lot, so I bought it. Watched Fargo last night. It was about 5 to 10 minutes in, and thought, "Where's Ben Affleck?" And then remembered that's Argo. James Patterson. I don't think I've ever read any James Patterson. Millennials turn 30 this year. I thought you had another wife before you married Millie's mom. I did. Yeah, I've been married 3 times. That's why I referred to Millie's mom as my second wife. Third time's the charm. Boy, my wife hates to hear people say that, but it certainly has been a charm. Very in love with Emily. We all should read the Go Trek and Felix books. Not you, Geoff. Thank you. Thank you. Emily is cool as fuck. Yeah. James Patterson, is he the one who doesn't write his own books anymore? He just puts his name on it. I think that's right. Our Christmas photo. Thank you. I'm glad we stumbled on this little waterfall. I wish it wasn't so fucking blue. I was hoping to get some sunset action, but I guess that's just Norway for you. I try not to acknowledge that my friends were married before. It seems to work better that way. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Nobody wants to sit around and talk about previous relationships, with current relationships. He puts out like 100 books a year. Yeah. I mean, that's what he is now, right? But I assume at some point he was just a really good writer. My uncle went to art school and then ended up working for a pretty famous artist who didn't even make his own art. He just slaps his name on interns' work. I don't understand it. Well, I think you do. He's a famous artist. Whatever he's doing is working for him, and that's why he does it. That's all there is to understand. It's working very well for him, it sounds like. Brandon Sanderson. I saw a dude on TikTok who's going to read every Brandon Sanderson book this year. Something like 90 books, maybe. And he's going to read all the Wheel of Time to understand the Brandon Sanderson Wheel of Time books as well. He had like this whole timeline. He's going to try to pull it off. I think I followed him just so I can see how he does throughout the year because it seems impossible. Literally how the entire world functions. I'm doing great. Fish streams. Got about 8 more minutes on this background. Then we'll probably start to close up shop. Move on to the other stuff. Sandon Branderson is his pen name. He writes under it. That's his Richard Bachman, Robert Galbraith. Angler, Call the Wild. Andy Warhol did that with his factory. It's a well-used trope that has been done for a long time in the art world by a lot of artists and will continue to do so. Am I still top-notching? Oh, I haven't been in a minute, but it's for no other reason than I'm just not up to that part of town that often. It's a bit far away from where I am now, and I love it. And I always go there if I ever am up there, but I just don't find myself in the vicinity that often anymore. You don't want to go to the Hutto location? I'm not opposed to it. I just don't have a reason to go to Hutto. I'm not a hippo. Just like movie directors who didn't want their name. Yeah, Alan Smythe. Malta is an island. Also a sweet roll, apparently. You ever watch Twitch streams while you're working in the background? No, I don't watch Twitch streams. I don't watch anybody's Twitch. I have watched Andrew in the past when I'm a fan of Andrew. Like when he was doing his Winter Chicken Dinner thing a couple of years ago, I watched every one of those streams that I could. I tune in every once in a while. I'll watch Jeremy or Ray a little bit just to hear their voices, because they're my friends. Or Matt Bragg. Sometimes I'll even tune in a little bit to hear him because I like him a lot too. But I don't ever participate in the chats or anything if I'm doing that, and pretty rarely. Usually, if I'm working on my computer, I'm either listening to a podcast. That's mostly what my idle stuff is a sports podcast in the background, or unfortunately, a lot of times I'm in front of a computer. I have to pay attention to what I'm usually editing, and so I have to listen to me, which is what I'm going to do as soon as I'm done here. I got to go listen to me. I'd kill to listen to a podcast, but while I'm editing, it's all right. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. Just to hear their voice, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I love everybody I worked with, all those people, so much, and I don't really see them very often anymore. But I do like to hear them occasionally. Listen to your newest So All Right, and wanted to say that we still sort of have bicycles in military use here in Finland. Bicycle mechanic is the shortest time you have to serve your mandatory military service. So people who don't want to be there all apply to that role so they can serve 6 months. That's awesome. Thanks for letting me know about that, Latexi. That's really cool. Yeah, something about Twitch and YouTube as a medium. I think it's because, like, I don't want to watch my job, I play video games, but then I listen to podcasts, and that's my job too. So, but the podcasts I listen to are, like, so different. I'm like, I don't do any. I listen to Zach Lowe and Bill Simmons and Rich Eisen, Dan Patrick, or Howard Stern. Yeah, I like to have basketball on in the background sometimes, or baseball as well. That's true. I had a lot of baseball on in the background this year on my TV over there. I listened to Buena by Morphine yesterday. It was good. I like that bass riff. Well, if you like bass, that's the whole band. That's all they are. It's a saxophone, a bass, a two-string, modified two-string bass guitar and drums. And the deepest fucking voice you'll ever listen to. I don't want to work when I'm not working either. Yeah. Thank you, Turdy McPoo-Poo, for the sub. I really appreciate it. I do need to listen to tomorrow's, say Tuesday, Wednesday, today's episode before I record tomorrow, unfortunately. Yeah, apparently he said that he could have done everything that he did on a single string bass, but he added a second string for vanity. He plays with 2 strings and a slide. Hell yeah, Schweitzer. I'm off social media as well, so I get it. Best bagel flavor. Everything bagel. I'm Free Now and In Spite of Me are a hell of a 1-2 punch of a story if you listen to them back to back. All right, we're at 15, but we'll let it go for a little bit longer. Give Nick an easier edit, slightly easier edit. Has a Sriracha Asiago bagel. Bushy 1-string. I grabbed my boss a nice, fresh, pressed Cuban sandwich as a thank you for letting me go hooky. I don't know why the first time I said it had the numbers on top of it. Hell yeah. That's nice of you, Mark. Never read The Hike by Drew McGarry. He is really interesting. The lead singer of Morphine, Mark Sandman was his name. He's unfortunately dead now. This will all be covered in next week's So All Right. I don't want to spoil all of next week's So All Right, but he died, unfortunately, in 1999. And he used to just invent, apparently, I've read a little bit about him. He was a really weird, secretive dude, but he used to love to invent musical instruments at home and then use them in music. So live, they only played those instruments. Occasionally, in recordings, he would use other stuff, like a guitar on occasion. But he would also occasionally throw in some instruments that he created. His 2-string bass was kind of that. Make it look like it's flowing uphill. Maybe it is. An anonymous gifter gave They Lock Homes, though, tier 1 sub. Thank you, anonymous gifter. That's fucking nice of you. You know what they say, in a world of Donald Trumps, be a They Lock Homes. Cuban sandwich does sound good. I do like a Cuban sandwich. Bum, bum, ba-na-na-na. Since I'm at the devil, I ain't been the same. Oh, no. You guys got me thinking about morphine. Thank you for the sub, Schweitzer. Hell yeah, man. You just showed up and throwing money around. Appreciate it. Really, really appreciate you investing your hard-earned money into this Twitch stream. Hopefully it is worth your efforts. Crimson Shade's going to get some Ropa Vieja. I've never heard of the Yellow River Boys. Man, I miss Key West. I'd like to go back. I went twice so soon, back to back, and then we haven't been since. I've been trying to watch Sloppy Joe's Bingo, or trying to watch Sloppy Joe. I've been trying to watch Sloppy Joe's live stream more often. I have it bookmarked and set up on my computer over here, and kind of try to have it running in the background. But it just sucks now that it's not on YouTube. It was so much easier to access when it was on YouTube. I would just have it on my TV all the time. Just love. I'm right there with you. Firewalk with Smee. I like your name, by the way, a lot. That's a great name. I just love sandwiches. I'm right there with you. I love a sandwich. Glass bones and paper skin. Thank you so much for the sub. Blackberry Smoke is pretty good. They have an old rock style sound. I'm so ready for more bingo. I think Andrew and those guys played it on New Year's Eve. QS is a lovely place to visit once a year. I agree. You had a great Philly cheesesteak last night? You guys are making me hungry. I'm going to go eat Captain Crunch, I think, when I'm done here. That's my breakfast today. Have you heard of Alvis Sanctuary? No, never heard of them. What do they do? What are they a sanctuary of? Yeah, the elbow room is not. I've tuned in occasionally. It's not the same. Your blender exploded? Jesus, that's rough. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording. Would you ever consider living in Oregon again? I would love to live in Oregon again. I love Oregon. I just don't think my life is going to take me that direction again, unfortunately. I think the Oregon door's shut. I think there was a pretty good chance when Emily's parents lived in Bend when I met her. And I think there was a pretty good chance that I could have ended up in Portland or Astoria if they'd stayed in Bend. But her sister and their family moved to Detroit 7 years ago now or so. and her parents followed suit about 3 years later to be near the grandkids. And so they're pretty much out of the Oregon game. And now that everybody is in Detroit, including aunts and uncles have started to move to Detroit, they've built a pretty big community there. And I think that's what's drawing us. I think that's where we're going to end up. Obviously, we talk about it all the time. Talk about Detroit constantly, so clearly that's where I'm going to end up. But yeah, I think that shut the door on Oregon for me, which is okay. Maybe in another life. People watching is still decent. You're totally right, Loin Sniffer. Absolutely. Peace. See you later, Insane Dad. All right, let me stop this recording. Make sure that worked. Thank you, Christ. It did. Okay. Alvius is an animal sanctuary run by a streamer. The gal that runs it just invites other streamers and teaches them about conservation, and animals and stuff. I think it's pretty close to Austin. Oh, that sounds cool. It is beautiful in the Pacific Northwest. I'm so done being in Oregon. Ah, man. I know that there's a lot going on, and Portland is a city experiencing a tumultuous time right now, socially. But I would still live there. That wouldn't scare me. I love Oregon. But I think I will end up half in Austin. I think I'll probably end up 8 months out of the year in Austin and 4 months out of the year in Michigan, and that'll be my life until at some point down the road it'll flip, and I'll be 8 months in Michigan and 4 months in Austin. But I don't think that's going to be any time soon. 6, 7, 8 years down the road, maybe. Yeah. Twin Peaks will do that to you for sure. Still sounds like a good life. I'm not complaining. I love Detroit. I wouldn't move there if I didn't. I wouldn't move there I wouldn't move there for any reason other than necessity, if I didn't like it. And I do. I love it. I think it's the best. Southwestern tip of Washington, and spent a lot of time in northwestern corner of Oregon. I spent the first 32 years of my life in the South, so it's crazy seeing the mountains literally every day. Is Good Morning Gus still a thing? It is not. We ended it about a year ago now. 10 months ago, something like that. Visiting the Pacific Northwest for the first time later this year, and I'm so worried I will want to move there. It's okay to want to live somewhere. You don't have to be worried about it. I miss GMG so much. Yeah. It was a fun podcast, but it was time to move on. Gus and I had been working together for God knows how long, 25 years or something. I think it was just time for us both to focus on our other projects and allow our friendship to just be a friendship and not have to be a partnership anymore, You're glad we're no longer coworkers? I mean, I didn't hate being a coworker. I loved being his coworker, but I am happy just to be his friend, Closest I've been to PNW is Montana. Montana's nice, too. Spent some nice time in Bozeman? Is that where it was? I can't remember. Fought forest fires there in the Army in 1994. Gooseballs, would you ever consider a Good Morning Gavin spinoff? No, I don't think so. I think Mall Talkers is as close as you'll get to Good Morning Gus, and we'll definitely do more of that in the future. I think the response was great, and Eric and I had a lot of fun doing it, so you'll see more Mall Talkers. We're going to Stuttgart. Stuttgart's cool. I've been to Stuttgart. Red Raider said, how do you process the change? For a fan, it's truly devastating, but I'm interested to see your side of it. What change are we talking about? The change of Gus and I? There's been no change. 90% of our friendship is texting. That hasn't changed since we stopped doing GMG. The only reason I started Anma in the first place was to force Gus to hang out with me once a week. It's the only time I could see him. because our careers were taking us in different directions, and it was hard to get together. And he's a shut-in and a curmudgeon, and I'm not much better. And so the only way I could get us together was to make it a part of our job. And then we carried it on for 2 more seasons after Rooster Teeth ended. You know, we did another 16 episodes together, and then it was just time. We both felt it. And that was a long time ago. We've had, you know, I think it ended in April or May when the last episode came out, but we ended it in like February. So I've had time to get used to the fact that Gus and I are just friends and no longer coworkers. I mean, yeah, it's the thing about it, though, is that we weren't really working together. You know, we worked around each other for years, but Gus and I weren't working together for a long time. We were in different offices in different sides of a building. We had different schedules. We had different productions. You know, he was doing his thing. I was doing mine, and very rarely did that crossover. You know, we weren't doing podcasts together. We hadn't done RT podcasts together in years at that point. We weren't making, you know, Red versus Blue wasn't us at that point. It was the animators. And so outside of voice acting in the same show, which we never did, you know, you do individual recording sessions. So it's not like we were together when we would do voice acting. We really rarely saw each other for the last, if anything, maybe we talk a little bit more now that we're not coworkers. I think because of that. You know, so it's like there's this perception that we were, because we both worked at Rooster Teeth, that we were together all the time. But Rooster Teeth was a big entity full of many rooms and buildings, and we very rarely intersected at Rooster Teeth. I barely saw Matt or Gus the last couple of years at Rooster Teeth. We were just doing different shit. Thank you. That's very very nice of you to say, CarterCast. I appreciate it. Thank you for the sub, Haley Mamori. Appreciate you. Come to appreciate a good ending. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. It's okay for stuff to end. It's okay. Not everything lasts forever. Things aren't meant to last forever. They're not designed to last forever. And you got to be okay with letting stuff end or stop or die. It's just the natural course of things, you know? No problem, Red Raider. That's what I'm here for. The way Anma GMG ended was extremely beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you. It meant a lot, that ending. And also you know, part of the nice thing about Good Morning Gus continuing or starting it and moving on with it after Anma ended because Rooster Teeth ended. We didn't choose to stop making Anma. The choice was made for us. And so the nice thing to me, and I assume you'd have to ask Gus, but I assume for Gus and Eric as well, is that Good Morning Gus ended on our terms, you know, because of our decision to end it. We chose to end it. And that is the best. The best. Get to end on good terms, on your terms, as friends. Getting canceled sucks. Getting shut down sucks. Getting the rug pulled out from under you sucks. Being told it's over and you don't have any control of it fucking sucks. So getting to make that decision ourselves made the whole podcast worth it to me. You know, just to start it so we could stop it again on our terms made the whole thing worth it to me. Celtics Pistons on Monday, January 19th will be on NBC. Absolutely. If in case there's a watch along. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe. I haven't been dealing well with changes. RT shutting down, but seeing everyone going on to do stuff they like has helped. Yeah. Life is full of changes, man. That's the only consistent thing in life, right? Is that it's ever changing. Was the vote at the end genuine, or did you talk about it beforehand? Because y'all went back to the call center for the last episode, which was poetic. The call center was my idea because I knew I was going to end it. But we didn't talk about it ahead of time. We didn't talk about it at the time. And I think it was a perfect way to end it. And I was ready to end it, but I would have ended it no matter where it was. But I wanted to get the call center out of the way because I wanted the opportunity to go there again and to relive that moment. And it was great that it happened to be the last episode, but it was just, I wanted to get there. And it just happened to be the last episode, and it seemed like a fitting place to end it. But no, we didn't discuss it ahead of time at all. That would have been against the idea of what we were doing there, I think. Yeah. Gus and I didn't discuss it at all beforehand. Would I record voice lines for a Halo game again? Sure. Like I said earlier, voice acting is not something that I aspire to do or that I particularly want to put effort into, but if, Rockstar calls me up and says they want me in Red Dead 3, I'm not going to say no, I love the opportunity when they land in my lap, but it's not something that I'm passionate about or that I think I'm particularly good at, But I'm not going to say no to opportunities to fuck around with fandoms that I love. Yeah, Eric was the only vote to continue. That's true. We have little control over what happens in life sometimes, so it's nice to be able to land softly into a happy ending when you can. Absolutely, Super Chris. And welcome to the chat, by the way. Headed out. See you later, Crimson Shade. Have a great day. Variety is the spice of life, Mark. I completely agree. And you are correct, Phallus O'Malice. Eric ending it would be the funniest option. That would have been pretty funny. I imagine we get Geoff voice acting in a new project before GTA 6. The only voice acting I've been doing is anytime Barb or Gus ask me to do something for Stinky Dragon, I do it. But that's about it. Vikachu often watches Jeremy streams. Hell yeah. You should. Duly Noted is his Twitch channel if you're not familiar with it. Spelled like his last name. Where am I based out of? Austin, Texas. How often is the funniest option the only option? If it's funny enough, it becomes the only option. Trying to be positive when things aren't going your way is hard, but sometimes it's just a reminder of how strong and motivated you can be. It's the only way to live life. Yeah, Kat also streams. That's true. Sometimes you have to be positive out of spite. All right, I gotta fuck off. I gotta go edit So Alright and download some. I just gotta do a bunch of shit. None of your concern. Don't worry about it. Everybody have a great day. Love you all. Today's Wednesday. I will not see you tomorrow because I'll be doing regulation. So I'll see you Friday at the afternoon stream, 4 p.m. Friday on the Regulation Podcast Twitch channel. Tune in. It'll be probably the whole gang, I would hope. So hopefully we'll see you there. Everybody have a great fucking day. I love you. And TTFN.